Welcome to the first episode of the Trivia Power Hour Gaming. If you've ever played a trivia game in the past, then you'll already be familiar with how this works. I'll ask 5 questions on a certain gaming topic, list 4 possible answers, reveal the answer, and hopefully have a good time and learn some cool stuff along the way. But you're not just looking for the right answers, because there will be a bonus 6 random gaming question at the end that I won't list any possible answers for. However, the answer will be one of the previous incorrect answers from earlier in the show. I'll give you 10 seconds per question to decide on your answer, or if you know it right away, you can just hit the L key and skip 10 seconds ahead and move on to the next question. I hope you play along by jotting down your answers, or just typing your answers in the comment box and posting how well you did at the end. With that said, let's get started on trivia about the origins and meanings of game and hardware developers' names. Nintendo has been around since 1889, long before video games were a thing, and since then the name has basically become synonymous with video games for moms all over the world. However, how many of you actually know what Nintendo means? Question 1. What does Nintendo mean? Is it A, Heaven Smile, B, Lucky Card, C, Leave Luck to Heaven, or D, Happy Family Toys? It seems like something any gamer should obviously know after growing up playing their games, but even after over 120 years in business, the meaning of the name seems to have gotten lost among most people. The answer is C, Leave Luck to Heaven, referencing their origins as a Hanafuda card company, which, for a little bonus trivia, they still sell to this day. Another Japanese company that has been growing ever since the arcade days in the 80s that has maintained a strong presence in the industry is Capcom. Now, Capcom itself isn't a word in any language, but it didn't just come out of nowhere. Question number 2. What 2 words were combined to make the name Capcom? Is it A, Capsule and Computer, B, Caption and Company, C, Captain and Compete, D, Capybara and Computer? Like most early game companies, Capcom spun off from another company, in particular IRM Corporation, which was focused on the manufacturing and distribution of the rising market of electronic game machines in Japan. Perhaps seeing the opportunity to break into the development industry after gaining experience manufacturing arcade machines, which the company referred to as capsule computers to differentiate them from personal computers, Capcom was born. So the answer would be A, Capsule and Computer. A smaller development team that saw the rise of great figures in the video game industry, such as Satoru Iwata, former Nintendo president, and Masahiro Sakurai, creator of Kirby and the Super Smash Bros. Games, HAL Laboratories is about as close as a studio can be to being a Nintendo first party without actually being one. I'm sure many of you can already see where this question is going, which is, where did the HAL from HAL Laboratories come from? Is it A, a reference to HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey, B, the company's founder's initials, C, the middle part of the word Valhalla, or D, the 3 letters in HAL are 1 previous letter to IBM? Early in the company's life, they were on the verge of going out of business until Nintendo offered to rescue the small team of promising developers on the condition that they appoint Satoru Iwata as their president. Who would have thought that he would go on to become Nintendo's president about 20 years later? The meaning of the name, though, is D. HAL intended to present themselves as being one step ahead of IBM by taking each previous letter. There have been many developer casualties over the life of the gaming industry, but among the most notable losses from the previous generation was THQ. Again, I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this, so let's just cut to the chase. Question number 4. What did THQ stand for, or what was an abbreviation of? Was it A, Toy Headquarters, B, Transform High Quality, C, Total Hyper Quantity, or D, nothing, it was just random letters? THQ was founded in 1990, with their first game being Peter Pan and the Pirates, released in 1991, but was shut down in 2013 after defaulting on a $50 million loan and their stock prices plummeted. Despite an attempt to raise funds through a Humble Bundle, which did sell over 800,000 bundles, raising about $5 million, THQ was forced to file for bankruptcy just days later and their IPs were sold off. THQ Nordic has taken up their mantle and many of their IPs, but I wonder if they knew where THQ comes from. Now you do, because the answer is A, Toy Headquarters. Not exactly the same vibe you get when you think of THQ, is it? In the same vein as Nintendo, Atari is another one of those names that's been around since the very beginning of the video game boom. The American-founded company wouldn't last long in the hardware game though, certainly not enough to be a serious competitor to the NES, but in its day it was the name of video games. So, the question is, where does the name Atari come from? Is it A, a Japanese word they just thought sounded cool? B, the name of a powerful Japanese warlord? C, a move in the board game Go? Or D, an anagram of the street name the founder lived on? I already gave a little hint that the company was founded in America, another bit of trivia I feel has been somewhat lost to time, but after the video game crash of 1983, the name Atari has changed many hands, names, and undergone many transformations. The name Atari still exists today, and is still in the gaming market, although has no association with any of the original Atari team. So, was there more to keeping the name than just preserving an established brand? Perhaps, because the answer is C, a move in the game Go. The word roughly means to hit the target, and in Go is when one or more stones are in danger of being captured on the next move. The closest comparison would be calling check in chess. And now it's time for our random bonus question. Remember, I won't be listing any answers, but you've already seen the answer in a previous question. So here's the bonus question. What was the name of the villains from the game Killer 7? Killer 7, a cult classic recently re-released on the PC, might be one of the most bizarre and confusing, yet intriguing and stylish, games released by Suda51. Following the Killer 7, a group of assassins who go up against a suicide-bombing demonic creatures known as Heaven's Smile. Thank you for joining me on this first episode of Trivia Power Hour Gaming. If you've been keeping track, go ahead and post your answers and score down below. We're all following the honor system here, so no cheating to make yourself look smarter. Hopefully you learned something, or at least got some new facts you can throw out to impress your friends. Feel free to subscribe or just check back in for the next episode of the Trivia Power Hour. Thank you for playing, and I'll see you next time.